Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamari Four here once again, back for these haunted animated nonsense. Wait, a bunch of thing is up to my ear. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure this thing can hear me. Okay, just have to make sure. So, if y'all remember, a lot of y'all had some comments about the last video in regards to both the 7-Eleven story and the smiling man. Baby, I'm telling you, that smiling man thing that still messed me up. Even that thumbnail messes with me a little bit, but you know what? It was for the whole premise of the video. I'm glad you guys liked it. Let me see if I can let some light in here real quick. So we're about to continue because I'm doing this in the daytime. I ain't finna be fucking around with this at damn 2 o'clock in the morning and then going to sleep immediately after no more. That's just crazy. So we're about to continue on and see what brand of bullshit we're gonna get into today. True camping story. See, already. Well, you know what? I'm gonna save that till after. I'm gonna save that little quick story till after.
So me and a couple of my buddies went camping last summer alongside the Willamette River. We actually had a decent hike into the deep end of woods. We did some night fishing, listening to music, and basically drank to the point where everything was funny later in the night. I would guess we finally called it a night somewhere past 2 a.m. I shared a tent with one of my buds while the other two shared another tent. We heard them laughing about something. At first we laughed at the sound of their laughing, but it soon got annoying and we yelled for them to shut up. One of them responded, "It isn't us." I sat up, startled at the response.
Ooh.
I came to realize that it was the sound of only one person laughing, and it didn't sound like either one of my friends. Even in my drunk state, I realized how odd it was for somebody to be out this far in the woods so late at night. The laughing gradually got closer and louder to our campout. My friend shot up and looked at me with a worried look on his face. I heard my other friends scream over to us that they were getting freaked out.
Bitch. Somebody started giggling and cackling. That's not funny. See, this is why I personally do not go out into the woods. Camping has never been appealing to me. I never understood the appeal of going out to the woods, no technology. In the wilderness, you are at the mercy of the elements. And stuff like this be going on. Like, you don't know if there's lions, tigers, bears, killer pandas. You just don't know what's going on in these woods. Bugs, poison ivy. Ain't nobody got time for all that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm one of those. I'll camp. I feel like I said this before. I don't know, but I'm one of them. I'm camp outside in the backyard type, people. I can't be out in the woods, not knowing where I am in the dark with no signal, and the only thing I have to protect me is a lamp, some polyester style tent fabric to protect me from the elements, and maybe a pocket knife. Hell nah.
As the laughing got even closer, I could make it out very clearly to be the laugh of a male, probably in his 30s or 40s. He sounded like he was as drunk as us, messing around with friends, but we only heard his laugh, nobody else. There was something indescribably creepy about his laugh too, as if it was missing something to it. You had to be there to understand what I mean. The laughing was now just at the edge of our campsite.
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I mean, are y'all gonna like squat up? Are y'all gonna, pick up a stick or something? Are you gonna light the stick with a fire to, like, what are y'all doing? Y'all just gonna stand there and look around all paranoid? Like, are y'all gonna get out and look? Are you afraid to look? Like, were y'all just gonna sit there and wait to see what's gonna happen?
But we couldn't hear any footsteps at all. Now that may not seem like a big deal. It was impossible to move through that without making noise. And finally, all of a sudden, the laughing stopped completely. We had no idea where whoever that was standing, as he hadn't made a single stepping sound. We sat there in silence looking at each other. My friend was clearly freaking out, but he was keeping it together the best he could. Finally, something broke the silence. The sound of something rubbing against the cottony fabric of the tent. We saw the outline of a hand through the moonlight, pressing on the tent. We both screamed.
Fuck that, nigga. This is why you should have got you a pocket knife, because as soon as I would have saw that, because there's literally nothing but that little tiny piece of fabric, I would have. Y'all came out here unprepared. I'm so sick of y'all people coming out to these places unprepared with nothing.
At the top of our lungs before getting out of the tent. We ran as fast as we could through the woods, our other friends following us.
Your friend's
After
slow.
about 5 minutes of running, we somehow found our car. I actually puked from running so much before taking the wheel. I don't condone drinking and driving, but I still believe we were just in this situation. By far the most horrific experience of my life. No idea who or what the hell that was, or what they wanted.
They wanted that booty. Nightmares that read into reality. Okay, honey.
I was having a horrifying dream, possibly the most disturbing nightmare of my life. I was in my house, or the closest thing to my house that my dream could produce. Ironically enough, I was in bed in this dream, or at least I can only start remembering past the point. And all of a sudden, the sound came from downstairs. I walked downstairs in the dark, not turning on any.
Bitch. You walked downstairs and didn't turn on not one light. Let me tell you something. When I start hearing bumps in the night, maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know. I'll be flickering on every light on the way there, the bathroom, the hallway, bedroom, candles, night lights, any light bulb that I can turn on is going. I'm about to be lighting the way like Jesus, all the way to. What am I doing? What? See, you know what? That's this and not this. I'm just saying.
Where I thought the sound was coming from. I was on my middle floor now. The dream was telling me to go downstairs to my laundry room, and so I did. But as I got there, expecting the noise to be louder and closer, it sounded like it was just as far as before. Now I was going upstairs to the kitchen, and it's strange, outside of every window was complete blackness, not general nighttime darkness. There was nothingness. I think all that existed in this dream was my house. Now my dream started to suggest that the banging sounds were coming from upstairs, so I went back upstairs and was eventually led to the attic door. It was surely beyond that door. I opened it. There was an old woman standing by a bunch of boxes.
Oh, hell.
She was slowly but loudly slamming her hand on one of the boxes, producing an unnatural sound.
Another old bitch.
I tried to quietly step back away from the attic, but the old woman turned around, opened her mouth twice as wide as anyone humanly could, reached out her arms, began to scream, and leap toward me. That's when I woke up. I thought it was just a horrific dream, but when I heard a bang coming from downstairs, a bang similar to what I heard in my dream, I felt my heart completely drop.
No.
On my way downstairs, there was another bang. It was the front door. I got the butcher knife from my...
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, someone used their common sense and didn't just walk and waltz into a random situation unarmed with no much as a stick. Home, and you saw she got the big knife. Now I think I would have got both. I would have got that knife and that meat cleaver, just so I can be doing one of the windmills on that. If you don't get hit by one, I'm gonna hit you with the other one. Damn it!
Knife holder in the kitchen and crouched behind the door.
Okay.
I was waiting for the next time he would pound on the door, and I...
She must be mixed. She's starting to exhibit black African American tendencies. Just wait for him, and then
would warn him to go away. I waited for a good minute in silence, and finally decided to take a quick look through the window. There was somebody standing in my driveway. I couldn't tell if he was facing me or looking at me or not, but he was surely the one who was pounding on my door at 4 in the morning. He walked away down the sidewalk moments after he must have noticed me. The pounding on my door was the kind of pounding you would expect from someone trying to break in a door, not to get a house owner's attention. I thought it was just crazy and horrifying that the pounding and banging from this potential robber or killer didn't wake me up, rather became the key point to a horrifying dream.
The motel. Honey?
I was 19 years old at the time, working at a sketchy motel. The motel was pretty run down, and the majority of people who stayed there were locals that were just doing things they weren't supposed to be doing. Let's just say the cops came by multiple times a week.
Oh.
I worked as both a front desk person, checking in these creeps all hours of the night, and as a housekeeper who got to clean up their nasty, vomit-smelling rooms afterwards.
Damn.
One afternoon, I was working as a housekeeper in the second building of the motel on the backside furthest from the office. I hated working over there because it not only had the most worn-down rooms, but it was always pretty vacant over there and way too quiet for comfort. I began cleaning one of my last rooms and wanted to get done in a hurry because it was getting late. I was washing the mirror in the room that I was cleaning when all of a sudden, I saw a man in the reflection staring at me. He was mid-50s, dirty, with long, greasy hair. Startled, I screamed, "Oh my God." I told him he scared me. The room I was currently cleaning was vacant, so there was no reason why this man should have been in there watching me clean. However, we just had a meeting on customer satisfaction, and my boss was really pressuring us to be more polite and help the guests any way we could. Sir?" I asked him cautiously. Can I get you anything? Towels?" The man just stared back at me with a crooked grin and held out his hands to me. I thought maybe he was handing me a tip for cleaning his room earlier, but when I looked down, I saw he was holding a $100 bill. Alarms started going off in my head. No one tips $100 on a $40 a night room.
Oh, girl. You know what he want, though. He want that sweet pussy. $100? I'm gonna need you to chip a lot more than $100. Cause the way that you look, you cost extra. I'm just saying.
The man just smiled and said his name was Terry. He said he was staying in the room next door with his wife Sherry and sort of joked about their names rhyming. He smelled like car oil and alcohol. When I asked him why he was trying to hand me $100, he laughed deep in his throat and said, "Me and my wife were watching you, and we just wanted to have fun with you."
Oh no.
I felt like my heart jumped into my throat. No, I can't do that, sir, I'm sorry." I wanted to run out of the room screaming, but he was blocking the door, my only exit. The man smiled again, taking on a softer tone of voice, and invited me to come into his room to meet his wife, just to talk as friends. I nervously told him no again, and that
Bitch, we ain't friends. How do I even know that there's another woman in your room? For all I know, you could have a whole gaggle of niggas up there to try to run a train on me. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And we in this hotel where there's people doing all types of stuff that they ain't got no business already? Hell no. Nah. What the fuck? And then, girl, I have to look at you sideways too, because if you know that you're working in this kind of place with crooks, criminals, drug dealers, and all sorts of crazy characters, why are you out here and you ain't strapped with a taser, pepper spray or something? You a little skinny little girl that can't even do too much for herself. You small, you can't defend yourself. Do you know taijutsu, bitch? Do you know taijutsu? Do you know kung fu? Like, what is your means of protection when you at this place at night with all these crazy mofos all around you? And now you're in a situation, what do? What you gonna do, bitch?
had a lot of work to do for the day. I prayed to God he would just go away, and eventually he did. He grunted and walked off in what I assumed to be the direction of his room. My mind began racing. There is no wife, I thought. This man could try and kidnap me. I was 110 pounds at the time and not very strong. He could easily overpower.
See? If you us about yourself. Why were you not prepared?
For me. I locked the room from the inside and went directly to the phone to call my manager at the front desk, but the phone wasn't working. Adrenaline began pumping through my veins, and despite what I was always told not to do, I was panicking. Did he cut the line? No, I thought. This is a crappy motel. It happens all the time. But I just have to get out.
Wait. Okay. Peek through the door and the windows just to see if he's still around, or can you check the line? Like, I guess just kind of sit still and don't move for a while, just so you don't get, just so you don't. You don't have a cell phone, bitch. What time period is this? Does you not have a cell phone? And unrelated, you know what? Never mind. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't
I
gonna do it.
remembered that I had my cell phone out on my housekeeping card, but that was outside the locked door. I'd have to open the door to get it.
Shit.
I cautiously opened the door to the room that I was cleaning and peered out.
Never leave your
I didn't
phone,
see
bitch.
anyone, so I frantically began searching my cart for my cell phone. I was wasting too much time looking for it, so I just decided to run as fast as I could and make a break for the front desk in the office. Then from behind me, I heard the man again, but this time he was screaming to someone else, "She's running, she's getting away."
Oh, I knew it. See, I knew. Watch the be not nan bitch in that room. Watch it be a gaggle of niggas.
I could hear his shoes slamming against the pavement after me. I quickly turned the corner, grabbed my keycard, and let myself into a stockroom and locked the door. Within moments, I heard the sound of the dirty guy and someone else running outside, searching for me. I stayed in that stockroom for 30 minutes shaking until I could no longer hear him searching for me. I finally got the courage to run the rest of the way to the front desk. When I made it there, I collapsed into my boss's arms and he called the police. The man and whoever else was in the room with him peeled out before the cops could arrive, and I was beyond shaken up. According to the police who ran a search, this wasn't the first time he had done something like this, and he was actually wanted for sexual assault, gross sexual imposition, and in the past was once charged with rape. A few weeks later, on what happened to be my birthday, this guy was caught. A few weeks after that, I quit. I will never again work at another motel.
Lord have mercy. Okay, I think this is gonna be the last one of the video. Scary Ouija board stories. Oh hell.
Ever since I can remember, we've always had one of those old vintage Parker Brother Ouija boards sitting in our closet collecting dust. When I was a kid, I always wondered what it was. From the box, it seemed like a horrible board game, until one day I found out what a Ouija board really is, and immediately dug it out of the closet. I insisted on my brother trying it out with me, and eventually got him to play along. We put our hands on the planchette, and I began asking the typical cliche questions like, "Is there anybody there?" and "Can you answer me?" Other than my brother jokingly moving the planchette around to imitate an answer from some kind of entity, there was no real response. After getting bored, we put the game back in the box. I did a little research that night to find out how to make Ouija boards work. Many people said online that the most ideal environment when using a Ouija board is in a dark room only lit by candles. So when my parents weren't home, I managed to gather like 6 or 7 candles and convinced my brother to try it one. I lit the candles and set them around the table in the dining room with all the lights out. We
Why?
tried one more time. I asked again if there was anybody there. The planchette began to move. I told my brother to stop moving it, but he swore he wasn't. I told him to move his hand away, and he did. It kept moving. My brother thought I was messing with him, but I didn't pay attention. The planchette landed on the word yes. I was only 9, so I was legitimately shitting myself.
See,
My older brother had to take over. He asked the question, "Are you a good spirit?" There was a 5-second pause before my brother's hand moved along with the planchette to the word no. We both
yep. All right. That's it. What the First of all, why are y'all doing this? First, why are you trying to communicate with ghosts and spirits that you can't see or hear, and they can sit there and tell you that they're a good spirit and then haunt your dreams for the rest of your life? Like, why even fuck with that? Why even mess with it? Why? Why?
Looked at each other, and at this point I ran to my room and shut the door behind me. But he continued on with the so-called game. I heard his muffled voice come from down in the dining room, when all of a sudden I heard him screaming at the top of his lungs. I ran back downstairs to see what was wrong. He was holding up his shirt, revealing a small open wound that almost looked like a claw mark. He told me to set the fireplace immediately, and I obeyed. He threw the thing in the fireplace and told me to never speak of what happened to anybody. We have never used a Ouija board since.
Bitch, please. Bitch, please. I'm just saying. But anyways, you guys, that's gonna be all for this video. It's gone on long enough. Let me know what you think about these stories. Let me know what you would do in these situations. And again, if you're a current subscriber, thank you so much. Make sure you guys click that little bell so you get a notification every time one of these goes up, anytime I upload anything at all. And if you're new to the channel, I hope you decide to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, guys.